Asher looked happy, genuinely enjoying himself. It surprised everyone watching, even those who knew him well. From a distance, Violet's friends watched in stunned silence. Alice's jaw dropped as she saw Asher tease Violet, coming close, then dodging away, grinning the whole time. "Good Lord," Alice muttered, realizing something. "He likes her." Dion, leaning against a bench, shook his head. "And that, my dear, means your friend Violet is in serious trouble. Nothing good comes from associating with Asher. The Nightshade household is toxic. Anything good dies in their hands." He took a sip of water, still watching Violet and Asher. "If you were a good friend, you'd tell Violet to stay away from him." He paused. "But it's too late. Asher has his eyes on her, and whatever Asher wants, he takes." Alice glanced at Dion, her heart pounding with worry. Something was chilling about the way he spoke, the certainty in his tone. She swallowed hard and asked nervously, "How do you know all that?" Dion relaxed, his smile widening as if he knew something she didn't. "You're a curious one, too," he said smoothly. "So you should already know that information is power at Lunaris." Alice fell silent, her gaze flickering back to her friend, who was still chasing Asher, the two of them creating a spectacle no one would forget anytime soon. At least, not for the rest of the day. At this point, Alice could only hope that Violet understood the danger she was in by associating with Asher, because there was no turning back now. Meanwhile, through sheer luck, Violet managed to tackle Asher to the ground, his laughter ending abruptly. They both went down with a heavy thud, the force of the fall knocking the wind out of Asher for a moment. Without thinking twice, Violet straddled him, her hands going straight for his neck. Her eyes were wide with fury as she leaned over him. "Die, you jerk!" she growled, squeezing his throat with all her strength. Yet even while she had her hands around his neck, even while she straddled him and tried to choke him, Asher was smiling, not even fazed. His eyes gleamed mischievously, his glasses long gone, lost during the chase. "Why are you laughing, you idiot?" Violet yelled, her frustration boiling over at his infuriating grin. Asher let out a low chuckle, sending a shiver down Violet's spine despite her fury. "Because you seem to like this position, little purple queen." Violet froze. Her hands loosened, and she suddenly became hyper-aware of everything. The fact that she was straddling Asher, the closeness of their bodies, and more pressingly, the way his hips shifted beneath hers. There was something hard pressing up, and that realization hit her like a ton of bricks. She looked down and saw the faintest outline of something that made her heart nearly stop. Violet shrieked, her face flushed with mortified horror. Her immediate reaction was to scramble off him, but Asher was too quick, too perceptive. The moment her concentration broke, he took advantage. Before Violet knew what was happening, Asher moved like lightning. His hands gripped her wrists, and in one swift motion, he flipped her over. Now she was pinned beneath him, her back against the grass. Violet's breath hitched as she found herself staring up at him, his silhouette blocking the sun, her heart racing. Not only was she pinned, but Asher was leaning over her, his face so close she could feel his breath against her skin. The weight of his body pressed down against hers, every inch of him. Every single inch, including his very evident, raging. Violet swallowed hard. She had just gone from the frying pan and straight into the fire. Violet's heart hammered in her chest. This was the closest she'd ever been to a guy, and it freaked her out. She shouldn't like it, but her body was having other ideas. No one had ever made her feel like this. Asher was trouble, a walking red flag. Everything she believed in screamed against getting involved with someone like him. Yet her body was buzzing with a need she couldn't ignore. But just because her body wanted him didn't mean she'd give in. She was in charge here, not her hormones. "Get off me!" she hissed, forcing her voice to sound strong despite the blush burning her cheeks. "No." "No?" Violet repeated, stunned. "Yes." Asher flashed that cocky smirk. "But you can make me." Violet's eyes narrowed. Did he think she couldn't? She'd show him? She shoved against his shoulders, trying to throw him off. It was like trying to move a brick wall. He didn't budge. It surprised her that he wasn't crushing her with his weight, but he remained stubbornly still. Violet tried again and again, huffing with the effort. Finally, she exploded. "Jerk!" she yelled, glaring at him, furious that he was clearly doing this on purpose. Asher burst out laughing. There was a dark, playful glint in his eyes, like he was enjoying this way too much. The way he pinned her wrists, the way he loomed over her, he seemed to relish her helplessness. "Jerk!" he chuckled, his voice mocking, but strangely sweet. "Honey, I've been called way worse. And the people who said that usually lost a few teeth. But you, Violet, coming from you, it almost sounds like a compliment." His gaze dropped, and the look in his eyes sent a shiver down her spine. His pupils, now thin slits, seemed to glow, like some animal inside him was waking up and staring right at her. Violet's breath caught in her throat. Asher's face was inches from hers. His dark, messy hair framed his features, the scratches and bruises on his skin somehow making him even more attractive. He looked at her like she was the only person in the world, and the intensity in his eyes made her want to surrender to whatever hold he had on her. She felt harden, her skin flushed and hot under his gaze. There was something about Asher, the raw power radiating from him, that made her want to give in, to let him take care of her. Someone who would protect and provide. An alpha. The perfect mate. Oh, crap. She was in so much trouble. Violet knew what was happening. His wolf was calling to her, and her own primal instincts were responding. Like some deep-seated biological imperative, her body was recognizing a strong, dominant male, perfect for mating and having babies. "Get off," Violet commanded him. Asher simply raised an eyebrow, amused by her attempted authority. Realizing that wasn't going to work, Violet changed tactics. "Please," she begged, glancing around nervously. "People are staring." She wasn't wrong. Students were definitely staring. But this was Asher. Nobody dared stare for too long. They knew better than to push their luck with him, and those who did kept their distance. But Violet knew she'd be showing up on the Oracle's post again. She was practically a celebrity at this point. To her surprise, even after pleading, Asher just sighed dramatically. "I wish I could help you, but your king called earlier and you ignored him." Oh, for crying out loud, Violet thought. So this was punishment? She racked her brain, her nerves on edge. How had she gotten tangled up with this crazy guy again? So much had happened, she'd almost forgotten. Oh, right, the stupid application. She'd brought this on herself. "Way to go, Violet," she scolded herself inwardly. Violet tried to control her temper, but the words slipped out. "I swear, I will murder you if you don't get off me." "Too bad," he grinned, his smile getting wider. "You might just be the death of me." Those words should be illegal, Violet thought, her heart skipping a beat. It wasn't just the cheesy line, but the way he said it like he actually meant it. Every single word. Before she could process what was happening, Asher finally rolled off her, only to lie beside her, turning her so they were face to face. "Let's stay like this then," he said, settling comfortably, his face inches from hers. Violet blinked, totally speechless. She'd never met anyone like him. She looked over her shoulder, trying to catch her friend's eyes, silently begging for help. But Dion and Alice looked away, avoiding her gaze. Their expressions seemed to say, "Good luck with your boyfriend, Violet." "No, look here," Asher said, gently turning her face back towards him. "I like it when your eyes are on me." Violet's heart skipped another beat, her breath catching in her throat. Dang, she thought, he's smooth. "Let's talk this way," Asher said. Violet figured she might as well play along. It wasn't totally awful, after all. Still, chilling in the grass with a hot, messed-up alpha who looked like he'd just wrestled a grizzly bear wasn't exactly how she'd pictured her afternoon. Talk about romantic. Any future boyfriend had some serious competition. Little did she know. Playing along, Violet said sarcastically, "So, Your Highness, what's on your mind?"
Hey, amazing viewers, it's Violet here. Thanks for sticking with us. By the time of the release of this video, only 9% of our viewers have joined the party by subscribing, and 91% of you might miss out on our next mind-blowing video. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the exclusive club.